What's going on, guys? Your boy X here. Today we about to review some Dragon Ball Superhero. Just came back from the movie theater, you know, fresh on my mind. I will be doing a spoiler review, so if you have not watched the movie yet, go ahead and leave and come back later. But if you don't care if you watch the movie, hey, we here, right? We here. Let me see, where do I want to begin with this movie? You know, so basically, I'll give like a little rundown real quick. You know, you got like the Red Ribbon Army, they've come back. They've reconstructed, came back, and it's up to Gohan and the people that are on Earth to take care of them because Goku and Vegeta, they're away training, you know, with Whis and Beers and them, right? So, that's the gist of this movie. Now, let me go ahead and start and say I did like this movie. Very action-packed. I will say, too, we went and watched it in 4DX, which was crazy as hell. That was the first movie I've ever watched in 4DX, and that's like, you know, the one where you're in the chair and that's just moving around and shooting air, water and shit at you. That movie was ridiculous in 4DX. I damn near died watching that movie. Like, I don't know, like, I would assume, like, that, like, if you want to have a great experience, like, with an action movie, I would watch it in 4DX. For some reason, because my brother was there with me, he was telling me, like, usually it's not that crazy. Like, when we were watching it, we was shaking. Like, I mean, I damn near snapped my neck in the chair. But, I think it did enhance the experience, but I really did like it. If I'm being honest with myself, before we even just get into the story and all that, I still think I enjoyed the Broly movie more. And honestly, if I had to rank all four movies, and by four I mean starting from, you know, Super, you know, Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, Broly, and this movie. If I had to rank all of them, I'd probably put Broly first, then I would put Battle of Gods. Then I would probably put this movie, and then Resurrection F I would put last. And that's not saying this movie is bad, because it is good, and I actually really did enjoy the new characters that we got. Like, for example, Dr. Hito. He was very funny, I'm not gonna lie. I did watch this dubbed, and I know a lot of people don't like dub, but for some, you know, with Dragon Ball, I think Dragon Ball has a great, I think there's a couple of anime that actually have good dubbings, like this being one of them. Like, the dub was just so funny. I was not expecting action. Now, that's the one thing, I think of the four movies I listed, even though I put this third, I think this is probably like the funniest one of all of them. Like, it just had so many like moments that were like hilarious in this movie. Like I said, Dr. Hito, he was funny. I am actually so glad that he survived this movie. Maybe later on when they bring the anime back, or even like maybe they'll write him into the manga eventually. But I'm glad he survived. Gamma 1 and 2 I really liked. Although, if I'm being honest, I think of all the new characters that we got in this movie, Gamma 2 was my boy. I can't believe this man died. I was so upset in the theater. I was like, oh. When that boy started disintegrating, everybody in the theater was like, oh. I was like, no. Like, I think it was like his personality. He was so cared, like, you know, he was just like, I don't even know how to describe his personality. It was just like he was the goofball, I guess you could say, of the two. Like, you know, he's just, come on, man, I'm about to whoop you. like his personality was just so cool, funny. Like, I definitely loved him the most of all the new characters that we got in this movie. Gamma 1, he was okay. His personality is more of like that stoic type of character, like, okay, let's go, like that type of shit. So I mean, he was cool too, but Gamma 2 was where it was at. Like, every time he was on screen, I was like, ah. So I'm glad too that he got like the most. I feel like of the two, obviously he got like most of the screen time, and that could also be a reason why I liked him more. But yeah, he was just like really funny. It was nice seeing Pan. This Pan is just like really cool. If I was to compare her to, like, she's 3 years old here though. I forgot how old she was in GT, but this Pan I really like. You know, she can't really do all that crazy stuff just yet, but just like just throughout the movie she had me laughing and whatnot. Like her and Piccolo coming up with the plan or whatever when she's like handcuffed and shit, and she's like, oh, daddy, please help me. Like, all that shit was so funny, dog. But yeah, she was adorable. She was adorable, very funny. I honestly thought in this movie that, all these I'm saying right now, I would say pretty much like the positives of the movie. The Piccolo wish, I honestly thought that was going to be like ass pull, but it was nice. And that's the one thing I will say about this movie that was really nice, was that they brought up a lot of scenes from previous, like way back in Z, like just like reminding you of stuff like, hey, hey, remember, Guru, he could unlock potential in people. So that was what made Piccolo want to like make that wish or whatever to get that power. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, that makes sense, because we do find out in this movie that you have to be a certain age as a Namekian to even like gain that power. So I was like, okay, Goku, Vegeta, they're gone right now. We need to do something here, right? So that was cool, and I will say I liked when he first turned into Orange Piccolo. Stupid name, but yeah, I like when he turned to Orange Piccolo. It kind of gave me like a reminiscence of like when Brawly had transformed for the first time in his little like legendary Super Saiyan state and came up. Like that's exactly what it looked like. I was like, oh, this boy Piccolo. And I thought, honestly, because I have seen pictures of Orange Piccolo, so I was like, that kind of looks stupid. But like when you're watching the movie, Orange Piccolo actually looked clean. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh shit, like he got like demonic like to him, like just like Piccolo if he was like an Orange Hulk or something, right? Just so that was clean. His fights when he was fighting Gamma 2 was cool. All of that was great, right? Gohan was just such a beast. It sucked. Obviously that towards the entirety of this movie, obviously, he hadn't been training, right? Typical Gohan. Hadn't been training or whatnot, but when he saw that his daughter was kidnapped or whatnot, and when he went to action, that whole rain fight was clean when he was fighting Gamma 1. Loved it. I'm telling you, I'm in the chair like, because of the 4DX, I'm like, oh no, shit! And there was so much like wallpaper moments in this movie. Y'all know me. If you've been subscribed to my channel, I always say that. Like every time in the anime I'm watching or reacting to it, I'm like, oh, that's wallpaper. It was so many. One off the dome, since we're talking about that fight, I think Gamma 1 had dive kicked Gohan into the ground, and it was this clean shot of like when he was just standing, like Gamma 1 was standing there looking down at Gohan, and it was like the water from the rain was like coming down like a waterfall while he was like standing around. It looked clean, I'm not gonna lie. And even like toward the end of the movie, like when Gohan is in his little Gohan beast mode or whatever, there was like certain shots where I was like, man, that could be like a damn desktop wallpaper right there. Like it's just a whole bunch. Orange Piccolo too, he had some moments. But yeah, man, so I think the Gammas were cool. Dr. Hito was funny as hell. I like he had that moment with at the end with Magenta, when Magenta took his damn suit off and he was like, ha ha! And then you thought this fool was gonna get like his ass whooped or whatever. He was about to fight for real. And then this fool just summoned his little bee and stung him. And it was like, oh yeah, call back to the beginning of the movie. And he just really died right there. But before he activated Cell Max, sadly. And another moment, I will say, this was one moment, that part right there that I just mentioned, where the theater was like, oh my god, like when Magenta unloaded on Dr. Hito, everybody in the theater was like, oh my god, like that was, like had he died right there, that would have been a very crazy death for a Dragon Ball death. Like I was like, oh my god. But, of course, the fool is like, ha, you forgot about my impenetrable skin over here. But I do like the whole hero aspect that Dr. Hito and the Gammas had. Kind of resemble like Great Saiyaman in a sense. And like, he had I'm surprised that Great Saiyaman was never mentioned. Like, cause that, like, the way the Gammas were acting, or at least Gamma 2, you would think Dr. Hito put like a little Great Saiyaman in them or whatever, but they never mentioned Great Saiyaman. I'm surprised about that. But yeah, I think the fight scenes were amazing. Great fight scenes. There's one thing I'm gonna mention, but later on. Even like when we got on Whi's planet, that's another good thing. Like the whole like Brawly being there and Chile and I always forget the other dude name, but him and whatever. And then Beerus is like, oh, you're a cook. I guess you can stay. Huh? Who is that over there? And it's so fun. That was hilarious. Like the fact that Beerus, it seems like he has like some kind of attraction to Chile. Everybody does, huh? But yeah, that's like, oh, I mean, you can stay. Shoot, I'm not mad at Beerus. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, she can stay. But the whole fighting, it sucked that we didn't really get to see Brawly do too much here, but it's fine, you know. The fact that he's on Beerus' planet is good enough. Hopefully we'll see him at a later date, whether that be in the anime, manga, whatever. But the Goku Vegeta fight was really good. I wish we had got more of it, obviously. I honestly, no lie, I could have had a whole movie dedicated to Goku versus Vegeta, and I think I would have been okay with it. Because, like, we didn't get to see them. From what we saw, at least, because we didn't get to see the full fight, but they make it seem like they basically fought in base the entire time. Like, nobody transformed with them. Which, I guess that's kind of a good thing, because, you know, depending, like, you know, this movie was supposed to come out earlier than it did. But you know, it got pushed back because of, I think, the hack that had happened. So I think it was supposed to come back like during the what was it, the Moral arc? Like it was supposed to come out after the Moral arc, I believe. But you know, it ended up coming out after, like, ironically, right after the Granola arc, right? So, I think that is good that they didn't transform, because that probably would have confused people. I'm kind of confused where it ends, like, the timeline-wise around, because, like, you know, in the manga, we haven't even seen, like, it's pretty much Goku and Vegeta have been gone, minus in the Moral arc when they fought him. You know, Piccolo and them were there, but like in the Granola arc, they're just in space this whole time. So I'm like, okay, does this take place later on or whatever, right? So that is good, right? I'm gonna get back to Goku and Vegeta later, but pretty much, I think I've said pretty much all the positives. Like I said, it was very funny. It was nice to see Goten and Trunks, and they got into the little fight. I hated that they made Gotenks a gag, but it was funny, I'm not gonna lie, you know, and Gotenks actually did a little bit, like cracked his damn head or whatever, but yeah, it was funny, I think that was pretty much the positive stuff, which is pretty much the entirety of the movie. I'm not gonna lie, like I said, I really did like this movie. The only negatives I have, because it's not really too much, and I guess you could kind of say this is kind of neutral too, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get some explanations to one thing I'm going to say later. But I would say how Gohan like just got this transformation out of nowhere, because they don't explain like what it is or how he got. Well, I mean, we know how he got it, because he was like, you know, the rage moment. It was like basically the same thing of like when he turned Super Saiyan 2 against Cell. When he killed 16, here we get to see, you know, I guess you would say he thought Piccolo died, and you know, he got the little rage moment again, transformed. But we don't really know what the hell this is, right? This isn't a super, well, it could be. We don't know if it's a Super Saiyan transformation, or if this is just like the next level to his like ultimate Gohan form or whatever, which would be weird, because you know that's supposed to be like your peak or whatever, your peak potential. But yeah, so we don't get any explanation to that, which I guess I'm okay with, just because, you know, it was at the end of the movie anyway. He looks cool in the white hair, red eyes. He does look cool. The only thing I kind of had a problem with was the hair length. I'm like, oh my god, why did they make his hair length like that, right? I don't know if I'm the only one that had a problem with his hair, but I think his hair length looks ridiculous. But I mean, we have had the Super Saiyan 3, for example, is ridiculous kind of too, but Super Saiyan 3 looks cool to me. This looks cool. I'll probably get used to it. It's just the hair length. But I will say, my friend, when we were watching it, he did mention that he was like, well, you know, because I was like, man, his hair was damn near the length of his body. And he was like, well, I mean, like, when he turned Super Saiyan 2 as a kid, his hair was kind of long like that too, like where it was like the same length as his body. I was like, oh, it kind of actually makes sense. So, but maybe they were trying to do like a little nostalgic thing, which I think they were too. I will say, this rage transformation, I feel like made a lot more sense than when he turned Super Saiyan 2. I might get crucified for that in the comment section, but hear me out. I found a problem. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I always found a problem, the fact that Gohan turned Super Saiyan 2 to 16 dying. I know, you know, his friends and family were getting beat up around him also, but it was like, you know, 16, let it go, Gohan, and then like he got killed. Like that always, I'm like, 16? Like it would have made more sense like had like, I don't know, somebody else had died and like, you know, one of his close friends or something, like Piccolo, his dad died and then he turned Super Saiyan. I always thought that. You know, I understand the fact of him saying let it go because, you know, he always was like holding back his like emotions or whatever. But yeah, I always found that to be a problem. But here, I can understand more, right? You know, Piccolo, he's over here fighting for his life. He's like, looks like a damn Godzilla fight. Go on, hurry up. Like coughing up blood and shit. Full Cell throws him up in the air. Like, I mean, he's getting his ass whooped. Everybody else is trying to help Piccolo. They're getting their ass whooped. Everybody's down for the count. Then he puts Piccolo. I'm like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense because he thinks Piccolo died, right? And he's like the last one up. I feel like that's more of a rage moment than 16 dying. That's just me. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section. And besides that too, I'm gonna say Cell Max, man. Look, I love this entire movie, but when Cell Max, like the threat, I like, but Cell Max himself, I did not. Like, first of all, his design, I didn't really care for. I don't understand why they didn't just make him look similar to like his perfect form. Like, and it's crazy because I feel like the fan base, and y'all can let me know in the comment section too, but I feel like the fan base would say that the second form of Cell is probably the most stupidest looking one. I like the first form more than I like the second form. But yeah, so I don't understand why they made him look like his second form a lot. On top of that too, I'm not really a fan of like big villains, you know. I mean, I do like the fact that Piccolo got like that moment like where Krillin's like, why don't you just turn big? Remember when you did it in Dragon Ball? Like I was like, cause that's what I'm saying. I like the callbacks or whatever. Piccolo, oh yeah, I forgot I did that. That was cool. But I really just hate like big villains like what was his name? Hirudegan, right? From the Dragon Ball Z movie. I forgot what the hell movie number that was. But with Tapion, I hate it, like I just hate like big fights like that for Dragon Ball characters just because, you know, it's just them flying around, shooting blasts, I don't know, doing a little punching, but it's not really like no hand-to-hand, like same size type of thing. I think a couple of y'all might understand what I'm trying to say. So I hated that he was big. Like, had he been like their size, I think it would have been more, better. Personally for me, but I guess, right? And yeah, it was just, you know, he was a rage monster. If you think about it, honestly, he was kind of like Bio Brawly, if you will, right? Just Cell Max, but he was like Bio Brawly where he was like out of control, and that's kind of actually, this movie kind of actually is a better Bio Brawly. If I had to just like right there, it just hit my right in mind right there, right? This movie is a better Bio Brawly. I put Bio Brawly probably low. I don't know if it's the worst Dragon Ball Z movie, but it's probably down there. It is down there. But this movie I thought was good. I just really didn't care for Cell Max all too much. I wish he had more of an intelligence to him. You know, he's you know, I mean, he could fight, yes, but it was like no talking, no dialogue. It would just been nice if he had a little smartness to him, like maybe like they put like memories and stuff in him to where he could remember Gohan, said his name or something like that. So he was just like really uncontrollable monster, you know, typical uncontrollable monster. The fight was cool, I'm not gonna lie, you know, all of them fighting, whatever. Like I said, that was all cool. Android, so we got to see 18, you know, she helped out. Krillin helped out like toward like the end of the fight, like I'm gonna go help them now. Jumping out the damn thing like it was a Fortnite or whatever, which ironically is funny that they just got in. But yeah, that whole fight was cool, I'm not gonna lie. Just I didn't care for Cell Max himself. I honestly think and there's one more thing that's, I don't want to say this is a negative, but the animation I was surprisingly okay with. Like, I would have preferred the animation like from the Brawly movie, but this animation was okay, and you know, I'm happy that they are trying new things, you know, I guess just to see like what people thought about it or whatever. Though for me personally, I've mentioned this before in certain animes that I react to or whatever, but I'm not really a big fan on the whole 3D animation or whatever. Here though, for some reason it was okay for me. You know, it looked decent. It looked decent. So, you know, I didn't have a problem with it. But yeah, like I would have preferred like the Brawly animation there. Besides that, do I want to mention anything else? But before I get to like the end, I will say the Gammas did remind me, and I can't remember the anime, but it's the anime. Somebody in the comment section is gonna let me know the anime. Oh my god, where it's like a group of androids, and they all have numbers. I can't remember. I used to watch that shit on Toonami. I can't remember. I think it came out at nighttime, but I can't remember. Oh my god! But that's the Gammas reminded me of them for some reason. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Either them or it's another one that I'm thinking of where it was like an apocalyptic anime where it's like an android or whatever, and he's going around and they're like, "Oh, you caused all this." What the fuck is that anime? Yo, I can't remember both of them. That is sad. I'm about to say fucking mind them. I can't remember. I'm sorry, but I know one of y'all are gonna remember, or I'm gonna Google it after I do this video. But the great moment at the end, there is an after credits, obviously, and that was Goku versus the Vegeta ending to it, and Vegeta actually won. Granted, it looked like barely, like both of them were exhausted, but this is a W for Vegeta, you know, and I was happy to see it. Like I said, I wish we saw the whole fight, but it was funny, like, I win, but yes. And it was so funny, like Beerus, he's asleep, he's like, oh, it's over, hey, Vegeta won, woo, pinky up, and, you know, Jill is like, oh, okay, wow, woo, and you got like Brawly and old boy crying and shit, dude. They've been watching the fight the entire time, so that was real funny. I want to mention too, though, because, I can't remember his name, I'm so sorry, but Brawly's voice actor, you know, because now it's Jong Young Bosch, which Jong Young Bosch is like my favorite voice actor, so I'm not upset that he's Brawly, although I do, you know, I do like the old Brawly voice actor. I did like him, Vic. I did like him, man. I'm upset, you know, that he's no longer Brawly, but, Jong Young Bosch, you know, even though he didn't get to say too much, I think he only said like maybe 3 words, honestly, like, okay. I think it was like only 3 words, honestly, but I think in the future he's gonna be a good Brawly, you know. He's also Brawly in Fighter Z, so yeah, but I think this is his first time as Brawly outside of that, so it was nice to see, you know, I guess where it could go, though he, like I said, he didn't say much. But I will say, if I remember correctly, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but Goku, every time Goku and Vegeta fight, Goku has never beat Vegeta, right? And I know some people are gonna be like, he beat him in Z, right? In Saiyan art, but I don't really count that as a W because, you know, after what was it, Krillin beat this fool, really? Like, I mean, what, Yajirobe cut his tail off, what they do, the spirit bomb or whatever, Krillin deflected it, it hit him, and then he was like crawling away, like Goku was just down for the count, but Krillin over here, I'm gonna kill him, Goku, that's a katana. So I don't know if I count that as a W for Goku. Like, that's not really like, it wasn't like a one-on-one, right? And then when they fought later on in the Majin Buu arc, you know, Vegeta won, although Goku was holding back, but that's still a W, right? Didn't do another fight. They did fight. I think they fought in Super, but we didn't get to see it. Unless I'm thinking of GT. Am I thinking of GT? I might be thinking of... No. They did fight in Super, but it was like at the end, and we didn't get to see who won, right? So, yeah, I mean, this is nice, though. This was a nice W for Vegeta. He deserves it. You know, Vegeta definitely deserves it. There was so much funny shit in this movie, dog. Like, I could be talking about this forever, and I'm over here about to run out of footage. This is gonna be a long review, but I love the comedy in this movie. You know, the action was really good, but yeah, Bulma with her wishes, it's like so much. They try to hit you with some fan service. I'm telling you, they know. They've been watching they know Chile, Bulma. They know that scene where Bulma was bending. Hey, y'all know what I'm talking about if you watch the movie. We was in the theater like, hey. But yeah, I think this is definitely a movie watch. Go out and watch it in theater. Go out and watch it in theater if you haven't already. I would honestly watch this movie twice, but like I said, that would be the order for me. You know, I think Brawly, it was just like nonstop like Brawly. I think it was because Brawly, right? And it was just so much action or whatever, right? And the animation was just mwah. With Battle of Gods, you know, that was kind of like the introduction of like this new series, if you will, right? With Beerus, Whis, and them or whatever, and then we got to see Super Saiyan God for the first time and the fight with Goku and Beerus. I think that is why that's like up there too. And this one, like I said, is right after that. Resurrection F is kind of like further down. Like that's what I'm saying. It's not bad. It's just like, you know, Brawly. It's like Brawly, Battle of Gods, this movie, and then Resurrection F is kind of down below. Not saying it's horrible, but like we could have like, I don't know, you know, it's all right. But that's all, man. Y'all let me know what y'all thought of the movie. Hopefully we get the anime real soon. Manga's been fire. Just finished the granola arc, so curious where we're gonna go from here. But yeah, man. That's another thing I want to say. I wonder, and this is actually gonna be the first time I'm ever gonna agree to this. So go ahead and just in the comment section, I'm telling you. But this is the first time where I would say, if they ever redid a movie in the anime, I would want it to be this movie. Only because I'm curious if they would change the animation. I'm very curious if they would. Like, if they redid the Brawly movie, I'd be like, I guess, right? But if they redid this movie, I'll be okay with it, because if they rechange the animation to like how it is like with Brawly, or however they're gonna do it in the anime, I'm all for it. I'm very curious how it would look. Like, that would be a very good comparison difference, you know, versus like just copy paste, you know. So that would be different. But yeah, that's all, guys. Y'all let me know what y'all thought of the movie. And for more Dragon Ball Super in the hopefully near future, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you're new to the channel. Hit the bell to get notified when I drop my videos. Also, if you like, follow your boy on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff down below in the description box. If you like the video, guys, like the video, comment, let me know what you thought of the movie. Yeah, it's been your boy X, and I'm out. Deuces.